Well, g'day everybody and welcome back to Botswana. Welcome back to Chiefs Island Airport, which is where we left off last time actually. We flew back in here, I think, last episode, and welcome back to our bush flying. Hope you guys are well. Don't forget to hit like if you like this and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you hit like, it helps so much. Make a comment. Tell me what you think of the series so far. I know a lot of people have been enjoying it, so thank you very much for the support, everybody. We are back in the Kodiak November Whiskey Lima, and we are ready to go. What we are going to do today is, thankfully, we've got another we've got another sort of mission job here, which is a 3-stage flight, which is going from Chiefs Island down to Morn, which is really, really convenient. From Morn across to here, and which is Katamamulio, and back to Morn again. That is really good because what I want to do today is I want to look at the possibility of setting up a small FBO and grabbing another employee and another aircraft. So when we get down to Morn after this first flight, that's what the plan is to look into grabbing an employee and another aircraft. Our first job is to take 3 passengers, economy passengers, and 669 pounds of cargo down to Morn. So let's get the aircraft all prepped for that. There we go, lovely. All right, let's prep that and get everything loaded up. And once I've got everything loaded up, I will see you in the cockpit. All right, lovely. We are in the cockpit. Just going to check my levers, make sure everything is okay there. It's looking good. That is looking good. That is looking good. Lovely. All right, let's have a look at let's have a look at what we're doing. Let's throw some fuel on there. Get this aircraft all started up and fired up. Master on. Lovely. All right, I'm still having a few little issues with the lighting and stuff on here, so yeah, definitely having a few issues with that, but that's okay. We're just going to leave that stuff on, and having issues with my taxi and landing lights as well. All right, lovely. Let's get this up to so that we can check out our engine gauges, which will be good. Everything else is okay. Let's bring our fuel pump to on, our ignition to on, our starter to on. Okay, we're looking for I think about 16% on the NG before we bring our fuel in, and fuel is in. Let this fire up over 600 on the ITT. Bring our prop in a little bit. Got to watch that MP. Make sure that it doesn't overdo itself. All right, everything is good there. We'll bring that down, we'll bring that down, we'll bring that into standby for now. Beautiful. and we'll let that engine settle itself down. Check our fuel quantity. Our fuel quantity is good. Today, altitude wise, we are flying to 3,500. I'm going to set 3,500 on there. Perfect. Our weather at the moment is, what have I got here? I've got it written down here, is 5 knots at 180. So we'll be taking off from the runway that we are on. Oh, sorry, it's 060 at 5 knots. Set the QNH, which should be okay there. Everything's good there. Our current weight is 5,911 pounds. We are looking at an outside air temperature of 33 degrees. Just going to pop that fuse right there. All the other fuses look pretty good. So we're looking at 5,900, so about 6,000 pounds. 6,000 pounds at 30 degrees. We're 3,000 feet above at the moment, or just over 3,000 feet, so we'll go up to 4,000. 30 degrees. We're looking at 1410 on the torque for takeoff. Flaps 20. Our takeoff climb performance is around about 2,142, so that should be okay. I'm going to bring the flaps down to 20 now. I'm going to trim the aircraft for takeoff, so we're going to bring our trim over like that. Also going to look at a little bit of right rudder trim, which unfortunately I haven't got set up at the moment. What about 30% on the rudder trim? That's usually pretty good there, so that should be okay. I might just quickly set my rudder trim up. Alright, that is set up. We'll just double check that. Yep, everything is looking good there. Alright, we are trimmed. Lovely, lovely. I don't know whether the aileron trim is set up or not, and it's not. Alright, beautiful. Let's just bring the aileron trim back that way just a touch, just to center it a little bit. There we go, perfect. Just setting the aircraft up, making sure that everything is okay and ready to go. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to climb to 3,500 feet. Our flight change mode is going to be set to, our initial climb out is going to be at 88 knots until we're at 88. We won't bring our flaps up. Once we're at 88, we'll bring our flaps up. We'll hit flight level change mode, and we shall fly out at 101 knots, or about 99 knots will be perfectly fine. There is nothing else that we really need to worry about at this particular point in time, other than our heading and stuff. Once we get out there, we are flying direct to, if we throw that in there, we are flying direct to excuse me, FBNA. Okay, FBMN, and let's enter that. Our course is going to be 154 degrees. We'll climb to 5,000, and we were going to climb to 3,500 feet for our cruise level, but we were already 3,100 feet above sea level. Everything else seems to be okay. Flaps are at 2. Let's get in there, lock the harnesses, 1 and 2. Got some people on board there, as well as some cargo. All right, beautiful. We are ready to go. So we'll bring that off. It's nice to be back in the Kodiak. Still learning to fly this little beast. I swear it is a magnificent aircraft, but my goodness, can it be a little bit difficult to fly sometimes. But getting used to its nuances and stuff. It's mainly the landing and stuff like that. All right, lovely. Our mixture is our fuel conditioning is set to rich. We're just going to park this little beast up here. Got plenty of runway to take off. 2 stages of flaps. We'll confirm flaps at 20 degrees. We'll confirm prop full forward and fuel conditioning to high RPM. Trim is done. Rudder trim is done to counteract that wanting to go left. Everything else is okay. We'll depart, we'll take off, and we will climb to our desired altitude at about 88 knots. Once we hit 88 knots on the climb out, we will make sure that we bring our flaps up and then continue our climb at 99 knots to 101 knots, which will be perfectly fine. Takeoff roll. Got plenty of space there. Just double checking my figures here. Just double checking my figures. Let's see, engine inlet normal. ITT below 790, NG below less than 101.6, 30 degrees, 4,000 feet, 1,410 on our torque. So let's bring that up, 1,410. Let the aircraft spool. Making sure that our NG remains below the desired level and that our ITT is below 790. And there is our 1,400 on the torque. So we'll start our takeoff roll. See how she goes. She's still even with that amount of trim. She still wants to roll backwards. Okay, 30, 49, 50 knots, 60 knots. Bring the nose back, get the aircraft up, and there she goes. Lovely. Lovely. We will climb out and at around 80 knots, 88 knots, we will bring our first stage of flaps up. And there we go, first stage of flaps up. Let's reset our rudder trim. I'm going to trim the aircraft up a little bit. And we're going to bring our next stage of flaps up. A little bit of trim up, and we will do our right turn. Climb out at around 99 to 101 knots. Which is around about there. Let's bring our heading bug around. There we go. Autopilot on. Heading. Lovely, that should be perfectly fine. We'll make sure that flight level change is set. And it is. Okay, we'll continue to climb out with an RPM of 2,200. The ITT is at 637, which is good. NG sitting at 97.7, which is great. Need to be under 101 for that. And torque at 1390. Okay, we've reached our altitude. We're going to look at a cruise speed of around 135 knots, which is our best, our most economic cruise speed. We do want to make sure that that we remain at an economic cruise speed. Just getting used to everything. So at 33 degrees, we're currently at 23 degrees. At 33 degrees, 5,000 feet above, we want to sit on. We want to sit around 1380, between 1220 and 1380 on the torque. We're sitting at 1380, which is absolutely perfect. I'm going to bring it down just a touch there. just a touch, because we're kind of in between the 30 and the 20 and the 30 degrees up here. So that should give us a really economic cruise. And I'm going to bring our torque down to around about 2,000. Our RPM down to around about 2,000. Let that settle. There she is at 2,000. That's good. Okay, ITT's good, torque's good. I'll bring the torque down just a touch now, just for a little bit, something a little bit more economic. And that should be right. We're sitting at about 144 knots, which is really, really good. All right, I'm going to flick over to nav mode now. I'm going to let the aircraft just take us along our track. It's all looking lovely out there. It's a little bit, the visibility's, I mean, we've got a lot of visibility and stuff. The sun's bringing up a little bit of that mist over there and stuff as well. Do we see any animals down there? Possibly not. So the plan is once we get to, oh, there we go. Just got to get that piece of paper out of the way. Once we get to our destination at morn, we will land, and we're going to look at the possibility of
November 181 Whiskey Lima is type 6 miles northwest of Foxtrot Bravo Delta Tango, 5,000 feet. Request flight following.
There we go.
November 181 Whiskey Lima Gaborone Center. Squawk 215 tree.
My apologies for that. I forgot to turn off. I always have the assistant doing my radios. Okay, so what was our squawk? 2153. Let's go into our transponder. 2153 and out.
1 Whiskey Lima radar contact 4 miles northwest of Foxtrot Bravo Delta Tango, 5,000 feet. Altimeter 29.908.
Let's just acknowledge that.
Roger, 1 Whiskey Lima.
Okay, beautiful. We are heading to FBN. FBN, we're looking at around about, 060 at 5 knots still, so that's pretty good. A temperature of 31 degrees. Visibility 10 kilometers, and the sky is clear. One of the beautiful things about flying in Africa is clear skies. We'll probably be expecting to land on runway 08. So we're going to come into 08. We'll probably fly to the right and probably do a left-hand circuit, I would say, or left traffic. But we will worry about that once we start getting relatively close to the airport. Okay, do we have some radio frequencies here? The tower frequency is 118.7 for morn. So what we're going to do is I'm going to throw in 118.7. I've got my radio panel. I've got my radio panel sitting here now. I actually found it in the garage the other day when I was starting to clean out and stuff. So that's pretty cool. So you can see that I've set that to 118.7 so that when we get relatively close to morn, we can let them know what our intentions are and that we want to do a full stop landing. We'll land, we'll have a look at some aircraft that are available. I'm not sure, I don't think I want to rent another Kodiak. I think we might grab ourselves an Islander or something that still has short takeoff and landing capabilities, and we'll throw a pilot into that. So keeping our eye on everything. We're cruising at about 137. 135 is a really good, really economical cruise rate for the Kodiak. So That's not too bad. That's not too bad. We'll be flying with the most economic setting that or configuration that we've got, which is going to be really good because we are paying for our own fuel. So what I want to do is probably set up a small FBO so we can run cargo out of Morn. I'm not going to set it up at Chiefs Island because there is really no room for any type of facility over there. So I thought Morn would be a better place to do that. And we'll probably end up having a small cargo hub as well as a little bit of fuel and stuff. We'll check out what FBOs are there when we get there anyway. And we'll see how we go. Probably sell fuel. I'm not sure how many other players on OnAir are actually out this way to be purchasing. Hi Chuck. To be purchasing any fuel or anything off of us. So it's probably going to be more for our benefit as well as for the maintenance of our aircraft. I think that's probably a better way to go, I reckon. All right, lovely. I'm going to turn our nav off and throw our heading back on now. I'm also going to start to deviate a little bit, which is going to take us in line, probably fly direct to FSO 8Y, which should line us up on runway 08. So get ourselves off track just a little bit. And if we go into here, we should be able to have an approach, I reckon. Our nav, yep, that should be all right. We can probably do an approach. Actually, rather than doing an RNAV, because we don't really need it at this particular point in time, we could probably set ourselves up for a visual. And we will do vectors, I think. Our minimums, the airport is sitting at, what is the airport sitting at? Let's have a look. 3,079 feet. Our minimums on the Barrow should be about 3,400 feet. We can roll that up. Roll, 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 roll. Bum, bum, bum. So I hope all you guys are well. Hope your flying is going really, really well. We've been doing some great flying on OnAir and NeoFly on stream, which has been fantastic. We'll just acknowledge that.
Going to 126.01 Whiskey Lima.
Okie dokie. Should be able to contact Morn approach now.
On approach November 181 Whiskey Lima, 5,000 feet. November 181 Whiskey Lima, Mon approach altimeter 30.00. Continue as planned.
Okay, so that should change our vectors. And we should now be able to nav. Just going to check that and make sure that everything is okay. Yeah, lovely. That's perfect. All right, we're flying in about the right direction there. About the right direction, so might just bring us across just a little bit more. Lovely. All right, sweet. Sweet. Love them flying out here. We're flying into here, but we are going to do a lot of really small bush strips and stuff. But I do want to get a couple of these little what would you say, like the mission jobs as part of OnAir. I want to get a couple of those done at this point in time, just to get us to the point where we're sort of, we can start just really throwing out the small bush strip stuff, and we'll have our Islander or Caravan. I don't know which one I'm going to get yet. We'll have that out doing other stuff as well. So. All right, so we're at 5,000. We want to be at 4,100 when we get down to our final approach fix. Our final approach fix is actually on that straight right there, so we should be okay for that. If we have a look at our flight plan and have a look at what they've listed to us, final approach fix 3,439. There's no real level at straight at this particular point in time, so we're just going to throw it. We're just going to do it manually anyway, which should be perfectly fine. Might actually leave that sitting there and leave that active like that. I'll see you guys when we're on final. Okay, for landing today, we're going to be at around about probably 5,300 pounds. We'll be landing at 63 knots, which will be perfectly fine. We'll probably, yeah, I'd say we'd be around 5,300 to 5,500. So we're going to go 64 knots on our touchdown. 64 knots will be good. Our approach will be at about 75 knots. And we will reduce as we go. We're getting pretty close now to the point where we are going to turn around. So I'm going to start setting the aircraft up for a little bit of a descent down to our desired altitude, which will be 4,000. Our vertical speed, if I bring that in, we want to bring our vertical speed down. Doesn't really want to do vertical speed, does it? There we go, that's a little bit better. We don't really need to go down that fast, so just a nice descent down to 4,000 will be perfectly fine. It's going to keep my eye on everything. We're at 107 knots, which is perfectly fine for now. Heading towards straight. I don't like the final approach fix altitude of 3,439. That doesn't make any sense to me because the airport's 3,067 or something like that above. So that seems very low for being so far out. So I'm not really convinced with their visual approaches and their vector approaches and stuff in flight sims. So we're going to bring ourselves around a little bit. Okay, we're going to get everything else ready for landing. Let's bring our vectors around to here. She wants to turn a little bit more than she should. There we go, that should be okay. And we're going to bring in another stage of flaps. We're going to bring our prop into full. And we're going to bring our prop down just a little bit actually. We don't want to go over on the MP there, on our RPM. And we've got visual on the runway now, so everything is good there. Let's slow ourselves down to about 75 knots. should be good there. A little bit more oomph. Come on, come on. And this is where I need to really learn to fly this aircraft. I don't know whether you guys can see the runway ahead there. I'll just give a little bit of a zoom in there. There she is right there. Not sure whether they have a PAPI or a TVAS or a VASI or a TVASI on here. I probably should check that, shouldn't I? Lovely, we'll bring her in there. All right, we want to trim the rudder to the right a little bit here, just to prep ourselves for landing. Which should give us the best option on the when we actually hit the ground. Bring ourselves in there, beautiful. Pretty happy with everything. Our speed is probably a little bit too high. Just going to bring that down. Just a touch. I think we're going to land at...
Lima, wind 039er at 7. Cleared to land runway 08.
Alright, we'll acknowledge that. And I think I'm going to...
Cleared to land runway 081 Whiskey Lima.
I'm going to land with 20 degrees of flaps today. Okay, autopilot is off. That is the warning that we got. Let's bring our speed down a little bit and trim the aircraft up just a touch. There we go. Got that right rudder in. Just slow our speed down a little bit. There we go, pretty happy with that. The old trims, the old trim can be a little bit funny at times. It's a little bit more throttle. Let's keep our nose up. We're a little bit low at the moment. And bring up a fair bit of throttle. Just keep the nose up a little bit. Let's maintain our altitude for a little bit. And watch that stall speed. Always too low on my approach.
Wind 040 at 3 knots.
I don't normally put right rudder on. I don't normally put right rudder on when I'm landing, so... There we go. That's looking alright. That's looking alright. Neutralise that trim. We're a little bit high again. Oh, the aircraft wants to drop. She wants to drop a little. I'm happy with that despite being a little bit high. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, and PAPI, where the PAPI is, it does have PAPI. It's showing that we are low. But I feel like we're alright. Feel like we're alright. Bring the speed down a little bit. You only need the slightest adjustment on the throttle in this beast. We've got 3 red, 1 white, but I feel like we're not going to shorten ourselves on the runway, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I want to touch down at around about...
Landing time.
There we go, that's it. Yep, happy with that. A little bit of brake.
1 Whiskey Lima, turn next taxiway.
All right, flaps up. Yeah, definitely happy with that. Okay, bring our mixture down to low idle.
1 Whiskey Lima, contact ground on 118.7.
118.71 Whiskey Lima.
Okay, we're looking pretty clear there. And let's get some taxiing to parking.
Ground November 181 Whiskey Lima taxi to parking.
November 181 Whiskey Lima taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha.
Okay, let's acknowledge that.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha 1 Whiskey Lima.
And off we go. Lovely. Let's just confirm that our flaps are up. Bring our fuel down to low idle. Everything's okay there. I would normally at this point in time have our taxi lights. In fact, our taxi lights I think were working. So that's good. We'll turn our landing lights off. There we go. Lovely. Little bit of a sim freeze up there. Okay, looks like that's our parking over there. The aircraft are parking very close to that taxi line. Very, very close to that taxi line. I think I might just skirt that a little bit, short of knocking our wings off and stuff. All right, lovely. In we go. Got Joe Blow there. Joe Blow's going to walk straight into our prop. No, it's Joanne Blow. There we go. Lovely. In we go. And stop right there. Beautiful. All right. Parking brake on. We'll get our taxi lights off. And our nav off. I've got to find all the buttons now. Strobe, nav. That should be okay. And let's drop that fuel off.
Time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
All right, lovely. Well, that was a pretty nice little flight there. I was pretty happy with that. It's always nice flying out here. I've got to get a mod to get rid of this stupid taxi thing, this stupid parking area thing. All right, and prop is off. All right, perfect. Let's bring our air conditioning off. Bring our throttle on. Fuel cutoff is done. And harnesses are unlocked. Beautiful. All right, beacon light is going off. If I can find the beacon light, there it is there. Okay, lovely. And our bus and our battery. Perfect. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time there, just a little bit of time there. Beautiful, we've done that. That is good. Our landing, see, 68 knots, and it's saying 68 knots is not good, but you know, 67 I think was our landing speed for the weight that we were on. Actually, let's just double check that. Let's spin into here. Let's see, 5,300, about 63 knots. So we were at 68 knots, which would. But if we were at 6,200 pounds and we landed at 68 knots, OnAir would still tell me that I was a naughty boy. All right, beautiful. We'll grab that there. Gonna have a sip of coffee while that's happening. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are basically going to Where are we? FBOs. Well, the first thing that we want to do is probably have a look at our employees and have a look at the type of aircraft that are available. So our next job is, I don't know why it says no work order. Well, it says no work order, but there we go. There's our aircraft market. But our next job is stage number 2 of this flight, which obviously I'm not going to do today, because what we're going to do is we're going to set up, we're actually going to set up our, excuse me. We're actually going to set up our FBO and stuff and get an employee happening so that we can start earning a little bit of extra money. For our bush flights, I don't want a massive amount of employees. So, all right, that took a while. So, what are we looking for? We're looking for the Islander. So we should be able to look for the BN2. There we go. BN2 Islander right there. Let's have a look at our... yeah, beautiful. All right, let's have a look at our rent and lease information. Do we have anything close by? We don't actually have anything here. There's one at Zabega Airport, which is looking pretty good. That is for sale. There is no rent price on that. We could actually buy that. We could actually buy that aircraft. We've got 700. That's 700 grand, 720 grand or something sitting in our account. So we could probably buy that aircraft, I reckon. Let's have a look. That is relatively close as well. It's not too far away from us. So, and she's in pretty good condition, pretty good nick. So let's see. What do we got? Multi-engine piston. We're going to have to do that at some point in time when we do fly this Islander. Empty weight 4,006 pounds. Maximum payload 2,136. So that should be really good. We can do 10 eco or 7 business or 6 first class. So that again is pretty good. I don't know whether we do eco economy or whether we do business class. I'm not sure. I think we could probably lease this aircraft, or alternatively we could buy it. I think what we might do is we might actually buy this aircraft. We've got enough cash to do so, although we do want to set up an FBO. So maybe we're better off leasing this aircraft. Full economy, if we bring that down, we could have an extra 630 pounds of cargo capacity. Now, if we put in, what was it? It was 6 first class seats. Then we'd be looking at an extra 252 pounds. I think we're going to go economy. And I think we're going to throw the whole 10 seats in. Which should probably be perfectly fine. That'll give us that'll still give us cargo capacity if we need it. So no, let's bring that down to 6 economy seats. All right, I've made a decision. 6 first class seats, because what you can do is you can actually upgrade people. So if you've got economy passengers, you can put them into first class. If you've got business, you can put them into first class. But you can't put business into economy or first class into business, etc. So if we go 6 first class seats, it gives us an extra 252 pounds. we will grab that. That is a leased aircraft, and that is perfectly fine. The next thing that we want to do is we want to employ somebody. So we'll employ, there's me. Go to the global job market. We'll employ somebody and get them in that aircraft, and we can start running jobs for them there. Once we've got that done, then we're going to look into setting up an FBO here and have a look at what FBOs are actually here. I'm not sure what FBOs are here. All right, what have we got here? We need somebody with the particular rating for an MEPL. We want somebody with we want somebody that's punctual and has a high stress resistance. Would be really good. They've done 2,678 per week, 1,260 per hour, 88.50. That's actually not too bad. You know, that's not too bad at all. Let's has 8 different classes. So why is that person 1260 when they're really, really good on their punctuality rating? Comes down to flight hours, doesn't it? By the looks of it. By the looks of it, it comes down to flight hours. 8,000 flight hours, 1,500. Wages 222, 105 per hour. I think what we might do is we might actually evaluate this person, make sure that they have that rating that we need. The MEPL is perfectly fine. I like his punctuality, and it's not too bad on the stress. The home airport is the airport that we're currently at. Let's see. Hire as a freelance, select the departure airport. So we don't want to hire a freelance person. We just want to hire somebody. Lodek Sobzak. I butchered that. Let's sign the contract with them. That is perfectly fine. Status is idling. Let's manage them. Transport across to FBNB, which is, let's confirm that. Start transportation. I've got instantaneous transportation set for that. Okay, lovely. Perfect. So he is over there, which means that we can actually give him a job now. FBNB to FBJA. That's executives. Let's load those on, and that is leg 1. So that's six executive passengers. Then we're going to go from FBJA to FBOR. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another leg. And on leg number 2, we're going from FBJA with 5 eco passengers there. That's showing leg 2, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And FBJA JA to FBOR there as well. Lovely, and they can do that refueling. Total weight, so there's still 600 pounds that we could have taken on there, but we won't take that. So that's leg 2. Leg 2, 1 cargo, 5 passengers. That's perfect. Our pilot is going to be Lodek, and he can start that work order right now. And that work order is underway, and he is underway as well. So what we're going to do is in the next episode, we're going to... let's go display the live map. What we're going to do is next episode, we're going to set up an FBO and get everything running from there. So you can see our pilot is over here. That will be setting itself up, and he will be taking off and heading up here. We are down here, and we have some other work to do. So thank you very much for watching this one, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for flying with Kiani. I'll speak to you later. Bye.